Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution again. The Cloud Institution is the best software training institution. So today, as part of the Terraform series, we're going to see another very important topic, that is Terraform refresh only. So what is Terraform refresh only? Okay. So now we can see the what is Terraform refresh only command will do. So the Terraform refresh command, okay, so reads the current settings from all the managed remote objects and updates the Terraform state to the state to match. So this command is deprecated, okay, so which is Terraform refresh command is deprecated, and then instead of that, add refresh only flag to Terraform apply and then plan commands. Okay, so now in this video we're going to see how this particular command will work in the Terraform remote state. Okay, so now what's happening is that here, okay, so I'm going to um, okay, so enable what's happening is that so now I have my Terraform script over here, so this is my Terraform, this is going to be the AWS console, for example. Okay, this is my Terraform code. Okay, so now let's say consider, like, so we have a state file here. It can be local state file or remote state file. So whenever I've just added, I've created one resource, for example, I've created one EC2 instance here. Okay, now that has been updated in this Terraform state file. Eventually, the state that EC2 instance got created in AWS. Okay, now what happens is that I'm going and adding some additional tags manually for the EC2 instance. So what happens is that, so when I'm applying, instead of giving apply and it should be applying for everything, so only this particular changes has to be deducted and then it has to be updated to my state file. So my current state file is not having this particular update. So what should be happening is that this change should pick it up from here. It has to be updating over the state file. Okay, this is state file, right? So tf state. Okay, so now whenever I'm doing Terraform, the refresh only Terraform apply refresh only hyphen, okay, only. So what happens is that it takes all the changes and update in the state file. Okay, now what are we going to do is that, so this is used to avoid the Terraform apply commands every time. Okay, so because just for the small changes we should not be doing Terraform apply, which will change all the other configuration as well. Okay, so if it is a production environment, we should not be applying the Terraform changes every now and then. Okay, so instead of that, what we can do is we can just do a Terraform refresh, okay, which is Terraform apply refresh only. Okay, now let's go back to the console. So here what I have is I have one instance to be created. Okay, so now I have one instance to be created. So now I have the tag called VM1. Okay, now or okay, virtual machine 1. All right, so now I'm going to do Terraform apply Terraform. Okay, first let me do Terraform plan. Okay, so it's going to be creating one EC2 instance, with the name called virtual machine 1. All right, okay, now I'm going to do Terraform apply hyphen hyphen, okay, auto approve, so which means that it won't ask you for the approval. Okay, so Terraform apply auto approve. Okay, instance web is creating. Now let's go back and see here, so a lot of instances has been got created. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to you know refresh it and I can see. Okay, now I don't see that the instance is got created yet, so let's go back and see. Okay, so instance got created, virtual machine 1 is going to be. So now, okay, so virtual machine 1 is created. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be gripping it. Okay, so that we'll be getting only the particular. Oh, okay. Okay, for example, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be giving a name equal to name is equal to, okay, virtual machine 1, sorry, name equals, oh, okay, I think I'm making some mistake over here probably. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do so virtual machine over here. Okay, so now what I can try to do is that I'm going to be okay, for example, what I can do is I can do like this. Okay, so now this is the separate VM. Okay, so now you can see the tags. So I have the name is equal to virtual machine 1 tag. Now what I can do is I'm going to do a manage tags. I'm going to add the name. So now the team is going to be, okay, so dev is what I'm adding. Okay, now I've added the name called dev. The team is equal to dev. Okay, so now I save this value. Now whenever I'm going to do a Terraform plan again over here, what's happening is that it's going to be removing this particular tag, whatever we are going to create. Okay, so it's still running. So as you can see here, it's going to be deleting this particular dev tags because it is got added manually. So the Terraform is detecting some changes, so it's going to be removing it. Okay, so now how are we going to add this particular the particular state into the state file without being, okay, applying? So whenever if I do Terraform apply, what's going to be happening is that it's going to remove this one. So how to prevent this one from the removing this particular configuration? So now what you have to do is that you have to do Terraform apply hyphen refresh hyphen only. Okay, so what happens if I do Terraform apply refresh only? Okay, it's telling me that, hey, so this Terraform apply refresh only will do, okay, it will not do undo. There's no undo, only yes will be accept the confirm, which means that refresh only plan Terraform will not take any action undo there. Okay, if you want to expecting the changes to be applying on the Terraform plan, it will be applying to the state file. Okay, now I'm going to be like to update the Terraform state to the reflect this directories. So what happens is that these changes will be updated in the, as you can see here, this change will be adding to my state file. Okay, now if you can see, go and see my state file. This is my state file, and I can go and see my name. Okay, name. Okay, so if you go see the tags, okay, name is equal to virtual machine 1 is what I'm having for the tags. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one, name is equal to virtual machine 1. Okay, now I have 2. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give yes value here. Okay, now as you can see here, the team dev is also already been added to your state file. All right. Okay, now what's going to be happening now? What are we going to do is that I'm going to do Terraform plan now. Now as you can see here, so because the Terraform plan, you know it has been added into the, okay, Terraform state file, the Terraform configuration is not having that particular configuration. What's going to be happening? Okay, let's see what's going to be happening now. Okay, so it's going to be do Terraform plan now in a second. Okay, as you can see here, again the Terraform dev is going to be removing because it's been added to the Terraform state file. Okay, but the configuration not been added. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be adding the state file over here, and then I'm going to be adding the dev. Okay, now so this is how we'll be, if we do Terraform plan now, so it's going to be checking with the, okay, so Terraform state configuration. Okay, now so if you do like this one, okay, so you will be avoiding the Terraform state that manual changes to be, the deleted, so it will avoid all the manual changes to be deleted from your configuration. See, now there is no infrastructure changes because it has been manually added. This tag has been manually added. Okay, whatever the tag is there over here, no, it's been, okay, so tag has been manually added, the dev, but I have just do a Terraform refresh to add it to the Terraform state file, and then, okay, so then I added manually here to update the configuration. So in this case, I don't need Terraform apply again. Okay, so Terraform apply is, for example, if you have so much of changes, that has to be omitted, avoided. So now what I can do is I can do just only Terraform apply with refresh only command, which will help me to avoid the Terraform apply all the times. Okay, this is what called Terraform refresh only command. Okay, so guys, hope you understand this particular video on Terraform refresh. And so this video, this video will really helpful for you to prepare your interviews or your preparation for the examinations and all this stuff. Okay, if you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, so if you have any questions, please post your comments in the below comment section. So we'll happy to help you. So thank you so much for watching again, and stay tuned for the next videos.